guys, welcome to episode 22 of the Permakid podcast. We've got a huge friggin' lot to talk about because it's mid-June and we are in the week of E3.
E3!
Yes, and the Steam Summer Sale. So I don't know when we're going to upload this or when you're going to hear it, but hopefully you hear it early enough that you get in on some of the earliest news that we have.
Let's start with this. What did you like about the older Elder Scrolls?
Stealth. And the ability to level up based off of the things that I do over and over again.
The stealth is actually been enhanced in that game.
Oh.
Like, I fucking hate playing stealthy in any game mostly, except for maybe Full Metal. Solid Snake, fucking, yeah, Metal Gear. So, but in that game, there's a part in there where I was legitimately scared that I was going to die, and I crouched down, and I was invisible for like a year. I was still playing reckless, but I still stayed invisible. So they've actually enhanced the stealth about it. So, I mean, of course, if you go into a dungeon, one of the public dungeons, and, you know, there's like a million people in there, you don't need stealth because they're all fighting everybody. You can actually just run past everybody and head towards the boss if you want to. But
later, losers.
Yeah, but, you know, you're not going to always go into a public dungeon. The game is massive. It's huge. So you're going to walk into a public dungeon where you're going to be the only one in there. Plus, there's plenty of solo missions where you can use stealth and go around and just, like, murder people doing that. Now, as far as the leveling up by the stuff you do, that doesn't happen anymore. Your experience goes towards all your different areas that you're using, of course, whenever you complete a task, but you want your main experience, bulk of your experience, to go towards your actual, not class, it's your race, which is your overall level.
How much does the game cost?
$60.
$60. Honestly, on the Bethesda showcase that they did last night, when it showed the capital city in danger with like demons and like undead all over the place, it made me want to get in the game to help retake it over.
It is, you know what? I can't even tell you about what's happening in Cyndaquil because
Cyndaquil.
Cyrodiil. We just suddenly jumped to Pokemon. Now?
But I can't tell because the game is I'm still on the starting island because it's huge and I've been playing religiously since Tuesday.
Dang.
I mean, staying up until the sun comes up.
Like, give us an idea of scale. Like, does this encompass all of Cyrodiil, including like
Morrowind? It encompasses all of
Skyrim,
Tamriel. It's got Cyrodiil in it, and it's just like Oblivion. Everything took place in Cyrodiil.
Dang.
Well, imagine like 12 Cyrodiils.
Shit.
Like, because Morrowind's up north, Skyrim is up north. I'm on the Somerset Isles because that's where the Aldmeri Dominion starts, and each area is its own game in itself. Basically, it's its own Elder Scrolls game. Because
have they included other areas? Like, have they included Hammerfell?
Yes.
And, oh my god.
And like he's been saying, he's so early in the game, he has no idea like the actual scale of seeing everything.
And at the
I'm definitely gonna have to get into this.
Yeah, probably me too. And I've talked so much shit that I feel so stupid about it.
At the end of the day, it is also like it's Elder Scrolls. So there's just like side missions fucking falling out of the sky like rain in a hurricane. It just goes on and on with side missions. Some that you can solo, some that are group based, but you can still solo them if you're strong enough. Remember, you said you like to actually go back and help people and feel like God in other areas.
Yeah.
In the old Elder Scrolls games, the enemies scale depending on your level. Mm-hmm. That only happens in this game when you're doing solo quests. As well as far as the open world goes, areas have different levels, so you could come back to an area. And this is, as proof of this, I did a Dark Anchor. A Dark Anchor is basically a public event that just randomly spawns. It's basically like the Oblivion gates inside Oblivion. Mm-hmm. When one starts to drop out of the sky, you can see it from anywhere you're standing because they're vast and the world just goes on and on. But when you see one drop, everybody in the general area starts heading towards it. Well, when I got over there, I get there.
The public event.
Huh?
The public event.
Yeah. Pretty much,
like in Destiny.
It And I got over there, and everybody's like all armored up and running around with swords and mage staffs and shit like that, and just killing shit. And it's one big ass clusterfuck. And then you see this one guy come in, and he's butt naked. Completely, he has no clothes on, just in his underwear, just running around, and he murders like 5 demons in a row. And I look at his level, and it's just like, oh, he's level 30. No wonder he's murdering all of these level 8 fucking demons, and he's not wearing a lick of armor. So he just dropped like 1 spell. So yeah, you can.
I like that.
It gets to a point to where once you get further into the game, if you want to come back to where you started and do some stuff,
help a bunch of noobs out. That's my favorite.
Talking about the guy that came in and just murdered like 5 demons with 1 spell. That brings up my next question. How's the spell system on this?
The spell system is, I will say this, the spell system is nowhere near as customizable as what y'all are expecting. That was kind of a disappointment. It's still fun to craft your enchantments and your spells and stuff like that if you want to deal with that.
Yeah.
But it's not as customizable. You're not going to be running around with a lightning drain health spell shooting out like a fireball and calling it a Kamehameha, or you're not going to be able to take what the spells that you know and attach it to a weapon to enchant it.
It's not like on.
Are you sure that you can't do that?
As far as I know, you can't do that.
When
I haven't looked up to.
We haven't even left the beginning island.
You did say you're not.
Yeah, I'm like level 15.
Very far into
it took me probably 14 playthroughs of Oblivion to ever find out about the Mages Guild and being able to create spells.
So
you never really know.
It's possible that might happen later on. And I've already joined the Mages Guild and the Fighters Guild. And I think I'm only to the second major quest for it. Like I said, I've been playing religiously. I play all night, usually until about 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning when the sun's coming up. That's when I'm crashing out. And my body's just like, I can't deal with this game anymore. And I've gotten to level 15. It takes
your body's screaming for help
of God to level up in that game.
I like that though. I like that.
Yeah, I really enjoy the fact that they make you work for your level.
You were talking about Neverwinter, and I said my problem with it was that you're level 6 by the time you're out of the tutorial.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's too fast.
No.
Yeah.
Dude.
No, not like that in Elder Scrolls. You are level 2 when you leave the tutorial, and it's gonna be forever till you get to level 3.
I might have to wait a couple of years for that game to go free to play, because with all these new game announcements, I gotta save my $60 for some other stuff.
That's fine. I wasn't gonna try to campaign for it because
hey man, there's a lot of similarities between that and Destiny. You realize it, right?
It is.
Yeah, except for the fact that the one island I'm on is bigger than all 4 planets.
I'm just saying. Other than the scale of it, is essentially the same shit.
It kind of looked like I saw a little bit of
Skywatch, right?
I kind of looked at the spell casting, like 2 guys shooting spells at each other. It looked like a Sheeran's Call. Did anybody remember that?
I didn't play this shit. I don't know.
I used to watch my friend Wesley Clark play a Sheeran's Call all the time, and it would just be like me and Danny would go to his house and just sit behind him, and he'd just be shooting spells at a guy, and they would just be dodging each other's spells, and I was like, somebody hit somebody. It kind of looked like that. But yeah, I gotta save my $60.
I'm playing as a Dragon Knight, so
Dragonite, more Pokemon.
God damn it. So many similarities.
Starting to sound like Bethesda just like stole a bunch of shit and just like, let's call it a game.
I'm playing as a Dragon Knight, and basically that's your typical DPS / tank class or whatever, but fuck all that bullshit. It's Elder Scrolls. You could do whatever you want. Like, Dragon Knights are usually expected to run around with 2 swords or a sword and a shield. Fuck that, I was running around with a crossbow and a healing staff, and I'm just like blowing shit up.
Dragon Knights fly around Bill's lighthouse. Alright, well, I just want to talk about one thing, and then I'll swear to God I'll shut up. I'll try to shut up. But let me just get this out of the way, and then everybody can have a field day with all their other titles. I watched the Nintendo World Championships, and the last 2 guys ended on Mario Maker. And I want to just go ahead and take back every bad thing I've ever said about Nintendo, because the levels that they created for the final 2 were so fun looking, and the game looks like it's just so customizable, and like just the fact that you can make your own Mario levels from 4 generations: the original Mario, Mario 3, Super Mario World, and the Mario Wii U games. You can just make like a side-scrolling platform. Like, remember when we tried to make a game? They have made it very easy for people now, and it's Mario.
Awesome.
It's Mario Maker, and they showcased that. They'll probably talk about it a little bit more tomorrow and stuff at E3, but it looked so fun, and I know for a fact I'm going to buy it.
I'm kind of wondering if we need a counter on how many times you just said Mario.
Yeah, well, I repeat myself a lot.
It's still fucking Nintendo for me, but
Like,
I understand.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to show anybody the levels that I make on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get to able...
That defeats the purpose for me. I'm like, I want to share with everybody what I created. That's it.
That's true.
This leads me into my rant for this podcast. Nintendo, that sounded awesome. That does. But either Nintendo or Capcom needs to sit down and explain to me who the f***'s idea was it to put Ryu in Smash Brothers. And I love Smash Brothers. It's near and dear to my heart. And don't get me wrong, I feel like Ryu belongs there. But the audacity for them to A, charge $6 for that asshole, and B, give him his actual street fighting moves. So you're gonna be, while everybody else is just like pushing up B, down B, left B, and right B, you actually have to do like a forward sweep with him and shit like that, and back sweeps.
People would have complained if you just push a B button and he shot a Hadouken.
But who is getting desperate here? This is what I was asking E yesterday. Who's getting desperate here? Is Capcom getting desperate to just like push all of their characters and all their remakes out on everybody and anything? Or is it Nintendo talking about, I want to try and drag in that old Street Fighter crowd that's about to move into the PS4 era with Street Fighter 5?
You pretty much answered that with the first one. This is Capcom doing this shit.
I just think it's a good move, though. I mean, like, I think it's just cool.
It's a good desperate move.
Yeah, you think it's desperate? Yeah. I just think it was a good move.
This is what we talked about the other day, right? Like, name one new game that they put out in the last 4 or 5 years. Like, the majority of the shit that they do has been remakes of old shit. Like, Devil May Cry's getting remade. Resident Evil's getting remade. Fucking Street Fighter 4 was remade like 15 times on 360 and
a lot of games are getting remade.
But no, like
Battlefront and Doom and just everybody's doing it.
I look at those as like almost like I won't say a continuation, but look at the length of time there between those.
Yeah, I was about to say it was like 20 years before now in the last Doom. And
Devil May Cry, the newer one when he was a kid, he was a teenager, just came out like 2 or 3 years ago, and it already got remade earlier this year.
Well, what I have to say to that is Devil May Cry, that was my idea.
I'll roll with Capcom being desperate for it. Nintendo's not really desperate. They're just assholes and they know it. It's just...
I don't know, man. Nintendo having a theme park, teaming up with Android, making another console.
That's them deciding, let's quit being an asshole and actually get involved with some other shit.
It all seems like they're scratching at something. They're backed into a corner and they're fighting for their lives.
According to their figures, like, they weren't hurting for money or anything, so they're not like going broke. They're just...
The year of Luigi was like, they lost a lot of money. That was like their worst year ever.
Think about it this way. The second they announced a mobile thing, their stocks went up like, I think it was like 13% at the time or some shit like that, or 7%. Like, they're not starving at all. They're just finally starting to join the new age of everybody else.
So this is Capcom just getting ready to suck for over here.
Yes, just like...
Because they're getting... Like,
think about the new Mega Man collection is getting ready to come out, right? Another one.
Cares.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
damn, that makes me sad. I love Capcom.
I used to.
I was happy to see Mega Man, and like I said, Ryu, that needed to. I feel like that does need to be in Smash Brothers. Whether people need to pay for it, fuck no. It's like a million. There's a million games you can play with Ryu in, but I'm okay with all of the with them putting them in there. That was Smash Brothers' whole purpose, is to mix genres of games and make them fight each other.
Now with Nintendo, I'm mad that they're charging for fucking Lucas. I am upset. That I'm like, that should be free.
Yeah, Lucas should be free.
That should be free. Like, come on, Nintendo.
Roy too.
Yeah,
he was in. Like I said, he was in the first or the second one. Anybody that was in the earlier games, you should not have to pay for it. I don't feel like people should have had to jump through all those hoops from Mewtwo. I like Mewtwo, but he was in the first game, so he should have been one of the original characters.
Mewtwo wasn't in the first game. So that's Smash Brothers, Mario Maker, Nintendo, Capcom. That's I'm
interested to see what they're gonna do tomorrow. I'll say that.
We're gonna talk a lot more about this on the next episode. So let's move on. Bethesda Showcase left everybody with poop in their diapers. That was amazing. Bethesda, you are my god.
I'm pretty sure I had wood.
That was great.
Yeah, they came out first.
First of all, they showed Doom.
Yeah.
It looked beautiful.
Yeah.
It looked so gorgeous. The melee hits, just hearing everybody gasp, like, oh man, the finisher moves. It's almost like Mortal Kombat is now a first-person shooter.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
There's a shit ton of melee finishes in that game. I was just like, wow.
Can you imagine having like an open world Doom where they just have like a map of hell?
That would be cool, but you know, the true spirit of Doom, I do think that some games need to stay away from open world. I think a lot of people are doing it now, and it's getting a little stale. Some people are just kind of like...
But that's like Bethesda's thing, though, so like...
Yeah, that's true, but Bethesda also is realizing what you know, the core of Doom is, and they're not messing with it.
They're going back to the arena type of feel, like Quake, and they're going back to that. Which,
and they've got games with open world, so they can just leave Doom alone in that sense, and leave Doom what it is. And the multiplayer looks good, and
that's where the whole Quake comparison came in.
Snap map.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that looked so cool. You can create your own levels.
It's forged from Halo, pretty much.
Right.
And it looks a lot. It looks a lot faster, but you can also it's not just forge, because you can actually change what certain things do.
Yeah.
So it's almost like full game creation in Doom, and it looks like it's all fast tracked to be able to upload, download every other people's maps, and play other people's game settings, and that's gonna keep people playing Doom for a long time.
Yeah. It looks smooth as hell too. It runs like perfectly.
You created in 60 frames, right?
Yeah.
The next thing they showed was Dishonored 2. Now Dishonored. I mean, does anybody have a real problem with that game?
I do.
You do?
Yeah. I mean, I guess not a real problem. I didn't like it though. I red boxed it. I kept it for about 4 days, so I was paid about $8, and I finished it, and I did kind of sort of run through it.
Everybody should have redboxed / rented it.
Like, I was not a fan of that game.
I bought the game. How do you feel? How do you think I feel?
My condolences.
No shit.
I do want to get it because I never did get to play it.
It's a good game. The art is good. The mechanics are good.
Yeah.
The options on how to kill people and stuff, that's kind of fun and stuff, but it is so short that, and it was really the first thing that Bethesda put their name on that wasn't really open world, and so it kind of threw everybody for a loop a little bit. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't what I was expecting.
It wasn't the fact that it wasn't open world that bothered me. It was the fact that you have all these awesome ways to kill people in the game.
You don't need to do it.
Exactly. That was the thing. It was, you want to get through the stage by killing as few people as humanly possible. I was like, so why did you give me all these ways to murder people in such awesome ways? I could stop time right when somebody shoots a gun and then move their body into the bullet and... But
if it gives you the bad ending for doing that,
it sounds like they did that just for you to replay it again to get the other ending.
Yeah, but there's really only like 4 levels, and then it's kind of Halo style where you kind of go back through some backwards.
That's what I'm saying. If it's that short, then why not go back through it and see how the other ending is? If you can get to it that quickly.
You can really just kind of YouTube those. And the ending,
but that's any game,
but
though. I don't like using that excuse.
The ending isn't even satisfying because it's just like picture slates that they show. Which they do in Fallout, but it's better in Fallout.
Why is that?
Mumble. Yeah, I don't care. It is there's something about Dishonored that kind of rubs me the wrong way.
For me, it was one of those games that it was good, wasn't great, wasn't horrible, but it was good.
It'd be better as an anime. I don't want to play the character. Like it's a very badass character, but I'd rather see it in like a series.
That's how I felt about Dante's Inferno. I mean, it was a book first, don't get me wrong, but then I played the demo for the game, and I was like, you know what, this would be an awesome movie to watch, but I'm not buying this game.
Yeah.
It actually is an anime.
Yeah,
that's the sad thing.
Dishonored 2 got a huge response though. That's what kind of made me want to go and play the first one because I haven't played it yet.
It's fun, fast gameplay, and it is pretty cool. The story is pretty cool.
Yeah, I was in the minority of people that didn't like that game. Like it felt like first person Assassin's Creed to me, and I was just like,
yeah.
I do that.
But you're like a ghost, sort of.
Yeah.
You have powers.
See, this sounds cool in my book. I like Assassin's Creed.
Oh boy, did you just say that? Really?
I did. Assassin's Creed is fucking fun.
The next game they showed
Not
was
Unity, but
yeah. Well, okay, yeah, that's the only one I played, so maybe I shouldn't be saying anything. I really want to play Black Flag. I have not gotten around to that. And
Oh
I
my
know
God.
I'm a terrible person. Now, Battlecry,
yeah.
Team Fortress with slower weapons. Anybody?
And it's like melee. Mostly.
It looks like Team Fortress 2
Yeah.
with like a samurai texture pack and like crossbows and swords.
I'm getting.
I wasn't feeling it.
I'm about to say I'm getting mixed vibes here.
No,
Are y'all excited about this? Or-
No,
'cause
I'm not.
I can see a lot of people really loving this game and playing it for the years to come because people play the crap out of Team
See,
Fortress.
there's another
Still.
game for the Xbox One coming out that we'll get to later called Gigantic that looks way cooler than Battlecry, and that's free to play. But I'll come back to that. Battlecry just looks... Well, maybe it's what they showed, but that shit was choppy as hell, and it just looked boring. Like, it was
Really
nothing to do. It was
cartoony,
like... Now what will be like? There was nothing to do. Like, it was
It's just another battle, multiplayer battle game where you can be all these different characters and go in and do whatever.
It's like MOBAs, but with like but you just you use like melee weapons.
I'm hearing Evolved and Left 4 Dead.
I don't even want to say that. Like
It's like
I need to-
Jade Empire and Evolved and Team Fortress.
I need to see more of it because they've been showing this for the past like
Who developed this?
Bethesda.
did.
Really?
Yeah.
They've been showing this for the last like year and a half, and now
This
I
is-
just I
Because
don't
it
know.
sounds like a
enough.
Valve game.
This is really their first kind of dip into those
Yeah.
kind of multiplayer battle games. The last thing they showed was Fallout 4. And
No. You forgot the Elder Scrolls Legends.
oh yeah, oh,
Fucking
man,
card
why are
game.
you doing this to me? I don't want to talk about Elder Scrolls Legends. Okay, guys, hey, do you like tablet card games? Well, here's another one you can play. Elder Scrolls Legends. You don't have to buy physical cards because you can just download them onto your iPad.
I can say
trying to
no,
rob that Hearthstone.
Yeah.
people in that crowd.
because I'm not already
Yeah.
addicted to Hearthstone.
People-
People in that crowd were just like, cool. No, I really don't
Yeah.
care.
And so, Elder Scrolls Legends, maybe your gameplay is good, maybe it's better, but I don't think anybody's ever going to find out.
For this showcase, did they start with that and work their way up? Because you
No,
can't.
they showed that
better
like
than
right
that.
before Fallout 4.
God,
They started with Doom.
You
They
know,
were like, guys, Battlecry, Doom, all that, but check this out, Elder Scrolls Legends. Everybody was like, okay.
They only did that because of Hearthstone. There's no other reason for them to even put that much focus toward the game like that.
But
And
then again, every heavy hitter should probably have some sort of tablet strategy card game, and they need to hurry up and get in the ring so it's not really sad way later
I feel like
on.
it's too late. Like
Yeah, I mean,
like
it
none
is.
of y'all can compete with Hearthstone. Like that's like the biggest game out in anything.
Okay, so now Fallout 4. They showed the gameplay from the beginning of the game. They showed concept art. They showed customizable armor, guns. Not only a customizable house that you can tear apart. You can find scrap metal, pick it up in real time, and then set it down into a house. But not just a house, but an actual society.
It's Red Faction, right?
Yeah.
Like, they just fucking.
But you
took the
can't
scrap,
really
but
build
yeah.
that way in Red Faction.
Not fully, yeah.
And then you can also set up trade routes with Brahmin trade routes. And when you have a society living in your town, you have to go out and get water and food for them. You don't have to. That's just like a fun option that you can do. Has nothing to do with the storyline probably. And you can also set up generators and hook them up to gun turrets. So when super mutants try to raid your camp, they'll just shoot the crap out of them.
Yeah.
So this is just an extra thing that they're putting in this game. And so
Then you get the Pip. You get the. They had made the real life Pip Boy.
oh my god. For if you get the Pip-Boy, you get an actual Pip-Boy that is
With
a
the
replica
with the
of the
collector's
game.
edition.
It's a collector's edition of Fallout 4. You can put your phone in it, and they're going to come out with an app the day of the game release that's going to be for Android and Apple, and it's going to be... He was talking... Todd Howard was talking mad shit about other apps. And I kind of felt this way with Grand Theft Auto 5. They could have done a lot more with the app instead of just feeding Chop and stuff like that. There could have been a lot more. You can also what else? You can make your license plate and stuff. Who cares? But if this Pip-Boy, if you can have your Pip-Boy on your arm and actually hit a button on your arm and use stim packs while you're playing the game and
Oh my
actually
God.
heal yourself, that is going to be... That's like a game changer.
I will literally shit bricks.
Yeah. I will also be doing that.
I've already put out a call for somebody to just randomly pay for me to get this
360.
This edition with the Pit Boy.
Dying.
So
yeah.
Oh,
It's better.
See, without it on your hand, you just feel like a fucking you feel stupid doing it, right?
Maybe
you
music.
gotta actually, if you actually wear it, I think it may be kind of cool.
I get that, but it seems like a lot of work because if I'm in the middle of fighting and I'm about to die and I need to hit a stim pack like in the middle of battle and I gotta take my hand off the controller and hit my wrist. I mean, don't get me wrong. It would make you feel.
How about this then? What if they're
immersed into the game?
What if you have the missions? Like if you have the missions pulled up, so instead of having to go into your menu and look at what mission you're on to remember why you're walking in the direction, you just look at your wrist and be like, oh yeah, and just keep walking on.
That I'm okay with.
And for cosplayers, it's a necessity.
Yes.
Plus, if you when you're using it right, if it's on your left hand, you don't have to remove and you just do this. You can still keep moving while you're trying to push whatever.
Yeah,
it's gonna be cool.
Like in the middle of fighting.
It's a real Pit Boy, goddammit! I will fight you now!
I can question it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I am going to pause the game. I am going to bandage
that.
myself, and I am going to use stim packs in the pause menu because I don't want to be murdered while trying to turn my wrist. And yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, there's a flow to everything. I guess you can get into a habit of doing it, but I feel like, I don't know. What I want to see how it's executed. I'll just let y'all get Fallout and I'll watch y'all play.
The game itself looks really good. I'm a little worried about the response system for the talking because in the past Fallout games you have a list that you can go down. And sometimes there's 2, sometimes there's 3, sometimes there's more than 4 options. In the modding community, they actually add some responses to certain text in the game. Well, for this, they've set it up kind of like a LA Noire type or Witcher type, where you have A, B, X, and Y responses to when people ask you questions. That's 4 options, and that worries me a little bit. So maybe if you end up having more than 4 options, it'll start incorporating the D-pad. I don't know what they're going to do with that. The graphics look pretty good. I noticed that whenever the character was hovering his cursor over like Nuka-Cola or Sugar Bombs, you would hear the character talk. A lot of people really like that. It adds this flair to the game. Having said that, if they didn't put in a lot of responses for this guy to say, for the voice actor to say, it could get annoying real fast. Another thing could be if you have low light vision or if you can't really see what you're looking at in like a room and you accidentally hover a cursor over something, maybe your character will be like, hey, a key, or oh, there's Sugar Bombs, I love those things. Yeah. You're like, I didn't see that, and you go back and you pick them up. So that could be helpful, that could be cool, but everybody has a flashlight on their Pip-Boy, so I don't know. They announced that it was coming out November 10th of this year.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
And then somebody was talking to me like, oh, hopefully they're not trying to rush it. And I'm like, they've been making. Yeah, they've been making.
They started making it after the third one.
Yeah, they've been making this in secret for so long that nobody's bothered them. And they were like, hey guys, look at this game we made. Look at this game we're giving you in like a couple of months.
They started working on it right after Fallout 3 and that's why they released New Vegas. It was like, here, let's throw them some bacon. That way they can sit there and chew on that for a while we work on it.
And let's make it kind of shitty so they'll be real happy about Fallout 4.
This game looks like it was made for me. Because
for the people that haven't gotten on the
people who may not have been cool with the third one, because the shooting wise, right? They showed a lot of first person view with it, and it looks like the average shooter, like when you see it. So I was just like, for me, I'm cool with that. So I don't have to worry about I don't know the other shit where you have to hit certain points and do all the extra shit, but like they gave you the choice of using that, or you can just go in like.
They might have tricked you because I've played Fallout 3 and New Vegas without using the VAT system. And I've gone into first person, and I've played full campaigns where I never went into the VAT system, where I would only shoot. And I would spend perks on things that had nothing to do with the VAT system, and that allowed me to fully maximize my character's skills and abilities instead of having to stop and do like RPG type elements. Having said that, it looked exactly the same to me for when I played the games like that. So it's all about how you play 3 in New Vegas, but it looked like they were just doing that again. Or they were doing it more. They were doing it more so for people that might have wanted more of a first-person shooter.
If it's all about the other way, then yeah, I can care less about that.
It's how you choose to play it. You can use the VAT system in every fight, Or you can say, fuck that, I'm just going to shoot and use my skills. And
see, that was my problem with it. Because I know plenty of times where I clearly got a headshot. Sometimes it was a headshot on somebody who was laying down. It was just like an innocent, and it wouldn't count as a critical because I didn't have any points towards my rifle skills. So I was just like, what the fuck? I have a gun literally pointed at your head, and it's not even counting as a critical. What the fuck is happening here?
You know, I can see that. So, and that kind of irked me with Doom was whenever he was point blank shooting, he was shooting demons with shotguns or whatever, and like they would react like not at all. And just 2 shots, he'd be dead, or 1 shot, and then walk up in melee, and he'd be dead. But all the shots that led up to the death, they were not like reacting, flinching at all. And so I was a little bit worried
about that. In that demo, though, the reason that is, he was so far away from every time he used that shotgun. Because the whole time I was watching, I was like, you might want to go a little bit closer to use this.
I did like that it wasn't some like faked thing. You could tell somebody was really playing, and they weren't like a pro gamer. So I liked that. And another thing that Bethesda kind of released, and you know, we could talk about Fallout 4 all day because they added so much cool stuff to Fallout 4, but we have other things to talk about. I'll just say that they also released an app called Fallout Shelter, and it's for the Apple iPod, phone, and pad if you have iOS 7.0 or greater, because I tried to get it on my iPad. My iPad Generation 1 last night, didn't happen. Tried to find it on Google Play, didn't happen. So, whatever. I really want to play it, but it's not in the cards for me. I'm not going to go out and buy an iPad to play that game.
I think it's only for Apple stuff.
Because they were talking about how when they came out with Fallout 3, the iPhone came out, and they... Yeah.
We shouldn't be endorsing Skynet anyway.
Okay, so that's, I mean, Bethesda in a nutshell, they really blew everybody away with a lot of their stuff.
Yeah, Microsoft did a fucking awesome job today. They did an awesome job last year. The year before that was the year that they pulled that bullshit with we're not going to talk about games at all. We're just going to talk about the TV and shit, and everybody was just like, I don't give a fuck about that. But,
they fixed that.
Yeah, Phil Spencer is the head of it now. So ever since he's been the head for the past couple of years, they've been
video games.
It's been games and nothing else. Yeah. And he did the same thing this year.
Hey man, I'm just saying, Splatoon 2 might blow everything out of the water that we've been talking about today.
So Halo 5 was the first thing.
Halo 5.
Whoo, Nathan Fillion. His character, those characters look fucking beautiful.
Yeah, the graphics, oh man, their faces look like it's obvious. Like that's Nathan Fillion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like holy crap.
I didn't even know he was in that game. I saw him, I was like, that's fucking Nathan Fillion.
I mean that's not the only thing we're excited about. Boss fights.
There's boss fights that are back instead of just people you just run across and then you just like do a cinematic and it goes away.
Didact.
Yeah, exactly. Multiplayer looks fun as usual. Like that's never been a problem with Halo.
All new game mechanics, like with Locke crawling up walls and stuff.
Ground pounds, all that shit.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Sergeant Johnson.
I miss Johnson. But yeah, Halo 5 was cool. Like that was a given. That wasn't a surprise. I think the biggest announcement though was that it's now going to be Xbox One is now going to be backward compatible.
Yes.
With 360 games.
I can finally get rid of my 360.
So my hunk of 360 that's laying there can just go lay against the fucking wall somewhere.
I'm giving my 360 to my nephew now. Like it's time. I can play all my 360 games, and I'm keeping all my games. Sorry, kid, you have to buy new games because I'm going to be playing those on my Xbox One.
Yeah.
So if we play a 360 Destiny on Xbox One, does it put you in the Xbox One or the Xbox 360 one? So in your particular case, if you wanted to play with us,
you still couldn't.
You have to actually put in your 360 version of Destiny.
That's assuming I will play with y'all at the point. I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't want to go back to the fucking Xbox 360 version. It's terrible.
Did you get Xbox One version?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Why didn't you tell me that?
I told you like a month ago.
Man, I didn't.
You've been playing with Hank and Nick.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm getting on there.
That's why Hank's been pressuring you to hurry up and get it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to go back to the 360 version, but I mean, even that's not a big deal. You just put the disc in. It's just like okay. But I think no. I take that back. I think what they do is when you put the disc in, you download the digital version of the 360 to that, so you won't need the disc at that point.
Nice.
So that's cool.
So
You're gonna have to pick and choose what you have loaded on your Xbox. But they did just release the news of a new full, like a 1 terabyte hard drive.
Yeah.
Fuck you at Microsoft for that shit.
I mean, you knew it was gonna happen. Man.
I know, man.
I'm not mad. I knew it was gonna happen.
When Woodrow gets an Xbox One, he's gonna have a better one than all of them.
I mean, that's. I'm not surprised.
You guys run out of space. I didn't.
I haven't.
All I had to do was wait 1 month, and I could have got me a white 1 terabyte Xbox One.
I mean, to be fair, I haven't run out of space yet. I've got plenty of space left.
I just deleted Assassin's Creed Unity.
Exactly. Like, it's not a bad thing. If I don't like some shit, I just delete it. If I don't want to play it anymore, I don't mind getting rid of it.
So you think the 360 version of Destiny on Xbox One? You think the inventory will load up faster?
Yeah.
Time out. Another. I gotta say something. I've been thinking about. I just remembered this. Not only did they announce backwards compatibility, but they also announced that with Windows 10 and the integration of like people being able to play Xbox games on PC, or like, you know, with people that are playing PC and vice versa and blah, 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 blah. The main thing was, remember in a past episode I said that I was going to buy Fallout 4 for the PC and the Xbox One?
Yeah. And then today my man came on stage and was just like, if you the PC mods that people do on the Fallout 4 version of the PC can be downloaded to the Xbox One and played.
I don't have to buy 2 copies of that game.
So I was just like,
I would.
Not
so
too shabby.
All I need to do is get it for the Xbox One now. I don't even need to have 2 copies. That is amazing.
Yeah, not too. Shout out to them for that, because they've been cool with Microsoft for like a long time. So when that dude walked out on the stage and for Fallout 4, I was just like, it makes sense.
Another thing they showed was that Minecraft,
the Halo lens,
the HoloLens.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
You know, they were showing the Oculus Rift, and they were saying that, you know, now that the Oculus Rift is partnered with Microsoft and stuff.
Yeah, each Oculus Rift will come with a
Xbox One controller
and the little the sensor for you to plug for your PC.
Yeah, so it's gonna, like, all PC games and all like Microsoft and like Xbox games are gonna probably be compatible with the Oculus.
Like,
I'm so happy.
Phil Spencer's so fucking smart. He knew, like, you know what, man? Like, we fucking run PCs, right? Why don't we just combine the two?
Sorry,
like,
Sony.
That's common. Exactly, it's common sense.
What's Sony gonna do? Like we teamed up with Mac computers.
Yeah,
it's like, fuck you.
The whole conference, it was just him talking about, it's gonna be this with Xbox One and PC. So I was like, that's smart.
But back to the HoloLens. The HoloLens is not even the Oculus Rift. It's a completely new thing that will enhance your real life world around you.
Yep.
And what they did show was a couple of people playing Minecraft
in the wall of their house.
Yeah, not on the wall of their house.
You didn't
watch the whole thing.
My man had a coffee table in front of him, right?
He walked over and he was like, move it to the coffee table, and the whole world came up out of his table, and he was just moving it around, and he could see the other player running, and he was able to mark spots, and then they would run to the spot, and then they would set TNT, and then they'd run away, and he'd look at the TNT and go, lightning strike, and it would strike the TNT and blow up. And I was like, oh man, this changes everything. My D&D campaigns are going to be way better from this.
Yeah, the HoloLens was cool.
We live in the future. This is the future.
I really hope it pans out. I'm not going to have high hopes for this because I understand that the Kinect, we know how Milo was, and that blew my fucking mind, and then we saw what happened. We never saw Milo again. Yeah. So I'm aware. So I'm not going to have the highest hopes, but at the same time, that shit looked fucking cool as fuck.
I could see that maybe the fun of it could wear off pretty fast.
Yeah.
And then you also have to have friends, or you're just going to be like looking at your worlds alone. I mean, you know, it might be cool for people that like to build models and stuff, but I could see it wearing off real fast.
See, I'm almost looking at it like the gamepad from a Wii, right? Where that one person controls shit and everybody else is like,
this is really cool. Yeah. The next day, it's like, let's not play that ever again. It's like, that was fun, and now we've done it, but what else?
I hope they pull it off and actually come out with games made for it, and they're good. So it looked cool though.
Pretty much my feeling about the Oculus Rift. I'm just like, I'll have to make a judgment when it actually comes out and see what they got.
I'm excited as fuck for the Oculus Rift. I'm trying to get my VR world.
I just have bad memories from virtual reality, man. Going to Six Flags and playing them shitty games.
Those were bad memories?
Yeah, those are cool.
No, not the one I played. It was like a fucking...
Wait, how old are you?
Just clowns running after him.
Oh my god.
Just big, naked, hairy dudes Mom, Dad! And then the guy switched it, and his mom looked in it, and it was just like flowers and rainbows. And she was like, Kaiser, there's nothing wrong with this. You're a silly boy. He has nightmares forever.
And I won that game, and my only reward was a fucking Jason mask, and I was just like, cool,
That's
I got
cool.
like 12 of these at home.
Baker's dozen, you're good.
I should have painted it gold. That way it could actually at least look like a trophy.
You had one Jason mask for each Jason movie.
Damn it.
They also announced Dark Souls 3 for you Dark Souls fans. And they announced that the Division beta drops in December, which they showed some new gameplay of it at the Ubisoft conference. And it got me excited again. I do want to play it because it just looked pretty fun.
So it comes out in December?
The beta comes out in December. It don't come out till next year, though.
Yeah, they haven't given us a real release date, and that's kind of what we're all waiting for.
Take your time. I'm not asking you to rush it. I understand this Ubisoft. Don't rush anything. Do what you got to do.
I'll just say this. Like, everybody look at how Bethesda's doing with Fallout and copy what they're doing. Their business plan of just making games and not showing us anything, like we were talking about with movies, they show us too much movie stuff. With Fallout just being like, quietly building a game that's gonna be awesome, and only telling us about it when they were ready to just put it out. That's what everybody needs to do, because we'll be blindsided a little bit, but we'll be happier for it.
The rare collection.
Oh my god! So a lot of people didn't really play Perfect Dark. I loved that game. A lot of people didn't really play Conker's Bad Fur Day. I loved that game.
Oh my god!
I love
that.
Conker's Bad Fur Day. I could do without Perfect Dark.
Banjo-Kazooie, just a ton. Rare made a bunch of good games. That's
Yeah.
undeniable. And for them to put they put 30 titles in
Something like
for
that.
pretty much $1 a piece. The whole collection of 30 games is $30.
And this is like a sign of the times right here, because like 10 years ago when they started making like collection games, it was like Sega, Super Nintendo collection games, or you'd see those like little Sega things you could buy at Walmart and they had like 30 games on them. And for me, I thought it was only possible to have like those type of games, those side scrollers, kind of crummy graphics. This is going to be a collection of games that are all like Nintendo 64 or higher quality, and that's amazing to me. That just shows that we're in the future now. You're going to jail now.
Gears of War got announced before it got remastered. It was getting remastered, and then Gears of War 4 got announced. And I mean, the crowd went pretty crazy when they showed Gears of War 4 and the remastered one. I've beat the first one like 2 or 3 times, so there's no need for me to go back and play it because it looks better. But
Gears of War just really wasn't my thing.
yeah, I mean, it's not for everybody.
It's not that I'm hating on it. It's just, it's not my cup of tea. If you like it, cool.
I'll say this. I like the voice actors attached to the game. They're all very talented people.
It's got a great story. I will say that shit. I will cut for the storyline of that game.
I downloaded
It's sad.
I downloaded it when it was free, but it was on my to-do list, and I just never made it around to it.
So somebody told me about Halo Warzone, and I remember saying that I didn't care. That sounded stupid. I was wrong. I saw some Halo Warzone stuff. It looks fucking cool. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
It's almost like, imagine you're doing like Prison of Elders, right? And Destiny, but you have other Guardians that are in there that you have to fight against too.
So you're fighting them. They're trying to get more points by killing more monsters. You're trying to kill more monsters and kill them.
Yeah.
And instead of a map like this, you're in a map like this.
It's huge. That did look cool as well.
Which I should not have done on a podcast because I just made my hand go from small to bigger.
So
Stupid.
So it's a first-person shooter?
From this to this.
It's Halo.
Yeah,
It's Halo in general, but that's one of the modes that's going to be in there.
All right.
So basically what it is like in one run through of the game, and it's all like against each other. It's all like PvP or whatever the fuck. Anyway, so you're in this world with you and your team, and then there's another team, and you could actually go off, and there's bosses and stuff. If you go off and play, you could play basically a solo campaign where you're doing certain things that'll earn your team points, and then they're doing things where they're killing other teammates and stuff. are killing other the other team, and they're getting points that way. So you can actually do a solo campaign or multiplayer fight, and it's all happening at the same time. And you can break off and start fighting other dudes, or maybe with the boss you're fighting, you'll see an enemy fighting the same boss, and you might have to break off and kill him, or y'all might have to work together to kill the boss and then kill each other. But
so it's Slayer with objectives.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It actually looks cool.
I was just like, Jesus, it's a lot of shit going on in that.
It's not its own standalone game. That's just, you said that's
no,
a mode in Halo 5.
That's just one of the PvP modes.
Okay, all right. I'm about to say, now, that sounds cool if it's in Halo 5, but nobody should pay $60 just to do that.
They could
okay.
Do that.
Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah. Who, that was under, was that Microsoft that did that?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
What?
I saw it.
No, Microsoft who did it at the briefing.
I want to re-up Yoshi yarn, so I'm just saying things now. Yeah, but Mass Effect Andromeda looked okay. Like it could possibly. It's not Mass Effect 4. It just almost looks like a reboot of the Mass Effect franchise.
I think that's why they didn't put like a number at the end of it.
Because I own all the Mass Effects, or I gave them to Woodrow. I've never played them. I missed the boat. I can't play them. I'm not going to. But with this new game, I might actually start on that one. Hopefully, if it is sort of like a reboot.
It just showed like a guy that's like looking through different planets while shit was happening, and then he found one. He was just like, "Cool, I want to go there."
Starbound with better graphics. Need for Speed looked real as fuck. I was like,
but hold on,
big deal. Stop. They filmed cars driving around.
It was shitty to me. And you know, I love freaking car games. I love the death out of fucking car games. But that Need for Speed, what they showed you is not what's going to be seen in the fucking game.
That's every game, though.
But that shit was just plain outright fucking
trickery.
Not right at all.
Trickery?
Because it's not going to be that. Not even close.
What if it is?
You want to take a bet?
But it's not. I don't. I have.
I bet it.
I have no faith.
I
have no faith in this.
That's only because we haven't seen anything like this before. But now that I've seen holograms come up out of people's tables, I will believe that.
I will bet you it looks close to what you saw.
Yeah.
If not what you saw.
And then on top of that, the fucking gameplay that they showed,
it did
every fucking turn that they did was fucking drift.
It looked like
everything
a mobile
was drift. Yeah,
it looked like you could push a button and it would automatically
drift.
Now the main player that was doing that showcase might have been that good, but he was making it look too easy, and it made it look like Temple Run.
To be fair, he's probably one of the people that worked on it, so I'm pretty sure he knows how to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I get what you're saying. Shit,
I'm not
made it look way too.
But I don't want him. I mean, that's what happened. I don't want him to go there and just like look shitty and. It looked fucking incredible. I want to play it.
It did look fucking incredible.
It's going back.
Regardless of how it's going to be, I'm going to get it, period. I'm going to get it, period, no matter what happens.
It went back to what Need for Speed was supposed to be in the first place. It got away from it. So now it's going back.
I hope Jesse Pinkman's in it.
And the fact...
For a split second, when they showed that cutscene in the beginning, I thought that was him that I heard his voice, but then the other guy showed up and I was just like...
what do you guys think about that, like live action cutscenes that they're coming back to?
I mean, those don't bother me. Like when it turned from that scene to the show in the car, it still looked exactly the same. Yeah. So I was just like,
big deal. They're showing a real car, and I was like, that's not a real car.
Exactly.
now the customizations that they showed of the cars, that's fucking amazing. Yeah. I love the hell out of that shit. They put a lot of extra details in the customizations of the cars this time around. And I like that. It looks good.
Just like a black person. You see some pretty rims, and now you want to put it
Hey,
there.
but no. They had more. Hold up. They had more than just pretty rims. They had a lot of shit you could do to them cars.
The cars that you use aren't the typical cars that, a lot of my people will be driving.
Exactly.
I love them, but the majority of them may not feel the same way.
I don't see the appeal.
It's rare.
What else did Microsoft show and do?
That was pretty much all that was all they showed.
So
the next was
EA,
and they showed. Did you see that Star Wars Battlefront?
Yes.
That was amazing.
I showed it to Black Sheep right before you guys came in. The game itself looks like the old school Battlefront games, but way better.
God damn, it looks so pretty.
Yeah, it legitimately looks like old school Battlefront live action.
Like you're in a war and you're fighting for the Republic or the Empire.
That was actual gameplay that was in 1080 and 60 frames, all that bullshit.
Darth Vader looked more real than he did in the movie.
He did. Yes.
That almost scared me when they turned around and he was just sitting there just like...
Shiniest dude.
Staring at it. Like, oh, shit.
Bro, chill out.
Like, I legitimately busted a nut.
Yeah, I did too.
The Star Wars Battlefront. We've been waiting for this for a long time, and it looks great. I played the originals, and the gameplay was always really fun. Mm-hmm. I think that this game is going to be a huge game.
Didn't really care much about EA's press conference, other than Need for Speed and Battlefront. I knew they were going to show like FIFA and NBA Live and all that shit, but I was just like,
I mean,
you're really not going to be interested in those games unless you've been interested in games like that.
No, I mean, like, I've always loved basketball games. Just that sports games now to the point where you can't really do too much more to change.
There's not anything you really can. You just get in there and play. That's all you can do.
All you can do is update the graphics, and other than that, it's going to
update player histories and all that.
Yeah,
that's pretty much.
I won't say they all play the same because NBA Live does not play like 2K. 2K is way better than NBA Live.
Oh yeah.
I mean, FIFA obviously is a huge game.
Yeah, I mean exactly. Like, and they don't pay layout like that.
I'm not even
going to
deny that. That's like that. I might not understand it, but I see the appeal. It's there.
EA brought out Pele for them, so that was fucking huge. Yeah. That did surprise me.
All right, so let's move on to Ubisoft. The devil. Now, even though they're the devil, even though Nintendo's the devil, even though Activision's the devil, even though the devil is everywhere,
they started pretty strong today.
Ubisoft.
They started off with the new South Park RPG called The Fractured Butthole.
Yeah.
The Fractured Butthole.
Yeah.
Butthole.
And it's starring Coon and Friends.
And it looks great.
Yeah.
Wrong game, guys.
Switch themes. We're playing superheroes this time.
I didn't get to play Stick of Truth, and I am kind of upset about that, but now that it's backward compatible, I may be able to go back and play it.
Yeah, I loved Stick of Truth, and Cartman made a couple of comments that the gameplay would be better in this one. I really loved the gameplay in the original one, so hopefully they don't tweak it too much. But I think if they do, it's all going to be for the better. And I really like superhero themed stuff. I really liked those storylines in South Park, so I'm gonna buy that game. It's gonna be awesome.
I didn't think it was gonna be an RPG. I thought they was gonna make it a
fighting. Yeah, it didn't show any RPG elements.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like a somewhat of a.
That would be cool.
See, Matt, he said that's the one game that they're good at making, so I think it is RPG. Yeah, because they was like, is any other type? Or he just like no. Like
it would be cool though. Like I think they did say something about it not being a stupid RPG, but if it is, that's fine. And I didn't say it was a stupid RPG. Cartman said that.
Yeah.
It would be cool if every sequel they made, they changed the gameplay up. That would be cool.
Yeah.
To where it became like a first-person shooter, like that Nintendo 64 game eventually, but they redid it in a way that was better. I know. I'm sorry I brought that up.
I had that game.
Well, they also showed...
The weapons was throwing pea-filled snowballs.
They also showed Ghost Recon Wildlands.
That looked crazy.
That looked legitimately awesome.
I was watching that during work, and I was just sitting there. I couldn't say anything out loud because I didn't want Lane to say some shit, but I was just like, Jesus.
I didn't expect to like it as much. I think when they first showed it and they showed the blood, the money, and the drugs and the guns, I was like, bro game. What is this? Army of Two? Bunch of college guys. I didn't know what it was, and I was like making fun of it. And then it started showing the gameplay, and I was like, oh shit, I'm an asshole. Okay, I'm an asshole. Because it showed 3 different ways to beat the same level, and all of them looked amazing. And you have to have a good team of friends behind you.
I almost felt like I was watching GTA 5 for a second when I was looking at that. It gave me that feeling.
It was like a honed GTA 5 heist thing. Like, all the things that you have to pretend you're doing in GTA 5, like, you actually are a mercenary with a team, and you have, like... you jump out of planes with parachutes, and you have drones that you can throw up and fly around, and sniper rifles, all sorts of really great stuff. Yoshi Yarn looked really good. We're going to see more of that for the Nintendo thing. It looked like Mario 2 for the Super Nintendo, Mario 2 Yoshi's Island, which is a really great game, except for this time around, if you get hit, you don't have to chase a screaming baby in a bubble. So Yoshi Yarn looked really good.
Oh, fuck. I didn't talk about all the indie games that Microsoft had too.
Yeah. Oh man, the Yarn Kid. Unravel. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. All these new indie games are coming out, and we're gonna get to talk about it. What?
Cuphead.
Oh yeah.
I'm way too excited about that game.
You've been following the Cuphead since the beginning. You showed us all what it was, and it looks really fun.
It looks fun as fuck.
Now, did we ever get confirmation that was one player or more?
I think it's 2 players.
Okay, that's kind of weird because.
Well, you start. It's about Cuphead, and I think the other dude's name is Jughead or Jarhead, one of those two. So like it's I think it's just 2 player. It's like typical like side scroll, like what it used to be.
Oh,
in the 1930s.
and I just wanted to bring up this one last thing. I know it's not an indie game, but Lego Dimensions. It looks amazing.
I'm gonna be poor.
Yeah, we're all gonna be poor. We're all gonna be poor. So you have to buy toys like Skylanders or Disney Infinity. But the fact that you can hang out with Batman, Gandalf, Wildstyle, and Chell from Portal, and Batman and Gandalf are helping Chell defeat GLaDOS in an Aperture Science Portal testing room. And you have to, like, pull in a DeLorean from Back to the Future to help you run on a treadmill that'll open a thing for Gandalf to shoot a power to move a companion cube, for Chell to shoot a laser through, and then shoot portals, and you all jump through. And it's like, this is all in one game. I have to kill myself.
Time to commit suicide.
So for all the games that we just announced and just talked about, we would need infinite amount of money, infinite amount of time, people giving us blowjays on the reg, people building us sandwiches and nachos on the reg, and fucking bedpans and fucking IVs. We have to have like saltwater IVs and bedpans. There's no way. You've announced too many games, and it's giving me a panic attack. And I can't do this anymore.
And the thing, this is just half.
This is just the first half of E3.
Nintendo, Sony.
And I haven't even mentioned like the 1 or 2 games that actually, like, besides these that we were really talking about, that like caught my attention. Like, in particular, and this is mainly just because it's a very nostalgic game for me. But Fable Legends. They announced.
Fuck that. That fucking pirate game, Sea of Thieves. That looked way better than Fable Legends. It looks so awesome. We're not even going to talk about that right now because Sea of Thieves is too much. Fuck Fable Legends. Sea of Thieves exists and it puts Fable Legends to shame.
I'm gonna hold my Fable Legends thing because it's free to play, so I get to try it out and see how it is.
Sea of Thieves looks like a better version of it.
Sea of Thieves.
Don't get me wrong. Sea of Thieves looks amazing. Yeah. It looks
fact
great.
that I could.
But
I could fight another group of people on the fucking. I don't even like pirates. I think pirates are fucking stupid. But the fact that I get to go on the fucking pirate ship and fight against other people on another ship, and I can actually make one of them walk the plank in front of some fucking sharks,
and go on an island and fight people and hide treasures, and
I was like, holy shit!
It's the ultimate pirate experience, and it's by Rare. Yeah. And me and Woodrow have kids. We can't be playing these games. We can't be spending our money on this shit. Stop making such.
My kids are starving because of you guys.
Yeah, honestly, when they would show FIFA and like sports games, and like when they would show like Elder Scrolls Legends and stuff, I was like, oh, thank God. This looks shitty. Thank God. Because everything, I'm like making a list of games I'm gonna have to buy, and finally, there's games that just look like, why are you putting this out? It looks like complete garbage. But I know why they're putting it out. It's so people like me can breathe. So thank you for all the people that are making shitty fucking games.
Okay, what's the worst game that you saw during all this?
That's a good question.
I'll tell you what mine was. PG put out a game, Transformers.
No.
Did y'all see that?
No, that actually looked
no, the fuck it doesn't look good. What the hell looks good about Transformers?
Because it's old school. Horrible. It's like the old school Transformers. It's like for the fans that like Transformers.
Who put this in?
PG, I can't remember.
It's something P. It's
like from
platform games.
Yeah,
it's the EA. No, I don't remember. But it actually looked kind of cool. It was old school. It looked like Battle Royale.
Extremely old school.
Wait, when did y'all see this?
Today?
Yeah, that was today.
Sometime
I mean, like, which conference? Y'all know which conference?
Microsoft, EA, I don't remember. Ubisoft.
Who was showing it?
It wasn't EA.
YouTube was there showing them doing that. They're the one that showed.
No,
I don't think that they were in there. Actually, they must have been like some side shit.
I got the worst game.
It was some side shit.
I got the worst game right here. Overkill's Walking Dead. It's a VR experience, but they're trying to make their own VR. Dude, just put it out on the Google Cardboard. Quit fucking... Look, every Walking Dead game that's come out that isn't a Telltale game needs to just stop.
Survival Instincts was fucking terrible.
Yeah, just stop. There's already so many zombie games. Walking Dead can be the good zombie show, but don't try to turn it into a game because you're just going to fail.
Yeah.
So that's the answer to that.
Okay.
So let's wrap it up so we can start watching the Sony conference right
we got
now.
Sony next, Nintendo's in the morning, and Square
Sony
Enix
has
is
just
after that.
started, so we got to go.
Yeah, stay tuned to Permakids, the facebook.com/Permakids, because we're going to be doing our live commentary posts on everything that we're seeing, so we can start conversations. If we say that we like the way a game looks and you say you don't, start a conversation with us. We'll get into a big fight about it. It'll be fun. It'll be awesome. And, we're going to be posting the streaming links on our Facebook page, so you can actually watch everything from our Facebook page if you can't figure out how to get to it from IGN, GameSpot, or YouTube, or wherever.
Right.
So check us out, facebook.com/Permakids. That's where you want to be. And we're going to try to put up another episode probably within the next 2 days to recap the next half of E3. So stay tuned to Permakids. See you guys next time.
Peace. And hair grease.